Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and this is a joint request from Patreon subscribers King of the Depths and Termagurf. This is lands, featuring a couple new cards. We've got Vibrance from Lorwyn Eclipsed, and Skateboard from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This deck was actually submitted when Lorwyn came out. It's kind of shocking that we're in a phase of Magic the Gathering where my recording queue is as long as the space between sets, but I don't think that's a me problem. I think that's a WotC problem. This deck was submitted because of the card Vibrance. Both modes on this pretty relevant to the lands deck. Obviously, searching for a land is something that a lands deck would want to do for the green-green mode, and killing Magus of the Moon, or similar, for the red-red mode, is valuable as well. And lands games do go long. Sometimes you just have a 4/4. That was the appeal of initially sending this. I added the Skateboard. It was Lava Spur Boots, but I actually think Skateboard is a huge upgrade for specifically lands. I don't know if every Urza Saga deck is going to want to switch from Lava Spur Boots to Skateboard, but Skateboard for land specifically matters because the thing you're attacking with is a 20/20. If it hits, the game is over. Ward 1 on an indestructible 20/20 is almost flavor text. It matters sometimes. We are a wasteland deck and everything, like constricting their mana, getting it through does matter. But Skateboard solves so many of land's common problems. Like if you have stage and depth set up in play and Urza Saga about to go off, all your opponent really has to do is put wasteland in play, and you can't really get through that until you come up with your own wasteland or some other way to work around it. Skateboard comes in off the Saga, taps the wasteland, and then they either have to waste you now and you just make Merit Lage in response, or the wasteland is tapped and they can't stop you. Likewise with Karakas. A Karakas sitting in play is normally a check on Merit Lage. The Lava Spur Boots doesn't stop. Skateboard taps it down, you get your 20 through. Likewise, a lot of the times people rely on a flying blocker, a random Murktide Region or Baleful Strix, a Tamiyo, something like that. Clear the blocker, get in. I think clearing a permanent is so much more valuable than Ward 1 on specifically Merit Lage decks. Outside of those two new cards, this is basically just the green land shell, Malevolent Rumble, Life from the Loam, Disruptor Flute, Exploration, Crop Rotation, all the things you'd expect. We have 3 and 3 of Thespian Stage and Dark Depths, pretty high commitment to playing that combo. Because we're supporting Vibrance, there's Grove of the Burn Willows and Taigas in the deck instead of just more forests. That's something that you just have to kind of give into if you're going to splash for this elemental. And that's the deck. Let's do it. This is Legacy Lands featuring Vibrance and Skateboard. I am on the play in round 1. I have Exploration, but no engine of any kind. Generally, Lands wants two things. It wants Acceleration and an engine. And I have a lot of Acceleration, both Exploration and Mox Diamond, but my hand doesn't do anything. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, Acceleration and Engine are both here. We have Mox Diamond to accelerate, Malevolent Rumble to dig. I'm going to keep, and I think Ghost Quarter goes to the bottom. I'm saving the Vibrance because my plan is to tutor Dark Depths with that, probably. The dream, of course, is to hit Life from the Loam with Malevolent Rumble. A Mox Diamond, I'm going to discard the Grove because I believe in Wasteland as a useful tool, but that does take me off double green. I do need to find a second green before this Vibrance does what I want. Force Pitching Ponder on my Rumble. All right. Game just got harder. A Swamp. Another Goyf. All right. We appear to be against Dimir Tempo. Oh, all right. Do I want to tutor Dark Depths right now? I think I want this to get the Commercial District, because this is a game where casting Vibrance for 5 actually looks pretty viable, depending on how well my opponent follows up. And currently, the answer is not at all. A Forest. I'll leave that on top. That gets me where I want to go. Thespian Stage, copy Commercial District. Next turn, play Vibrance for both modes. Basic Island after missing a land drop last turn. Totally normal stuff going on over there. This makes Nethergoyf 2/3. 3/4 is the important number for me, because that gets past my Vibrance removal. Unfortunately, Daze just turned on as well. Maybe it was greedy to try to do both here. If I had just tutored Dark Depths last turn, what are they going to do? I don't think it gets better for me if I wait. Days would be so shitty here, though. Okay, Force of Will was going to get me regardless. I accept. Gotten multiple Hymn to Torox. Opponent has a 2-3 attacking me. And now I need something that does something. Merit Lage, among the best of them. Second Netherglaive, 1 card left in hand. The Skateboard, oh no. That's not what I wanted. Okay, passing the turn, this fetch land makes Netherglaive at least 3-4. If it gets a Surveil land and dumps a creature, could be more. Sewer, we've got a 3-4 over there. Another land in the bin. The pre-combat Murktide region, probably. So I can't waste them off double blue. Okay. This is 4 plus 4 plus... Yep, this is exactly dead. If I draw Dark Depths, I can still win. Dark Depths off the top. Boo. All right. Yeah, the double force got me. Vibrance had a moment where it was going to be sick, though. The Endurance comes in. I don't think I'm on that Disruptor Flute life. Pyroblast deals with Kaitos and Murktides. Pithing Needle, I think, is okay, because sometimes I will want to turn off their Wastelands, but I am a Wasteland deck as well. I don't need Karakas in this matchup. The Juka Bog has use. Yeah, I think the rest of my lands are good. I might have to chill out a little bit on some of these sideboard cards. I don't want to overboard, but I'll get 2 Endurances and 1 Pyroblast in here. Okay, this hand is missing the engine, but knowing that we're against an ultra fair deck, I think I'm okay playing with the Exploration. Exploration and the Surveil land. I don't really need this Mox Diamond. If they Thoughtseize it here, that's fine. In fact, even that's preferable compared to other things they could do on turn 1. Like Tameo. I remember when I boarded out Caracas saying I didn't need it. That might have been a miscalculation. Commercial District. Crop Rotation. Crop Rotation's a nice one. I'll play out 2 lands and pass here. And Blast Zone still covers this Tameo if it needs to. Brainstorm. Going for it. Basic Swamp. Thoughtseize. Well, let's use it or lose it here. That's a tough Force of Will. Okay, and now I need something very good like Rumble into Loam. Drawing the Skateboard again. It's just glued to my hand. It wants to be here so bad. Yeah, there's a good chance that I just sideboarded poorly. I took out my Caracas and Disruptor Flute and only boarded in 1 Pyroblast. Yeah, I may have just completely dogged it on Tameo. There's so many answers to Tameo in my sideboard right now. This Urza Saga is going to be 1 turn too slow to get the Pithing Needle. If I draw a land here, I can actually attack Tameo for enough that it doesn't go ultimate right now. Okay, I'll play Skateboard, tap the Swamp, make a Construct, equip, attack Tameo back down to 6. Then I can get Pithing Needle. Oh no, they just have Fatal Push. Caramba. Alright, well, I've probably lost, but go ahead, draw half your deck, I guess. Do I even want to play through that shit? Not really. Alright, I'm good. Yeah, I messed that one up. I am not a lands expert, and I just like got run over by Netherglyphs game 1, and then in my head just forgot this entire angle of the deck. Whoops, on to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I am on the play in round 2 versus Wong deck, who I think in my research of looking for lands, lists and lands tech this morning, they came up as a lands player. I might be making that up. I'm going to mulligan this hand that doesn't do anything. This hand also doesn't do anything, but it doesn't do anything in a way that might be useful in a lands mirror. Now, if my opponent has anything going on and I don't, then I'm just doing poorly. Yeah, I'm going to go to 5. Okay, a Rumble and a Crop Rotation. I'm in for this. I think one of the two Wastelands has to go, and all these cards are just so good in Lands Mirrors. I guess I'll bottom Beseju, though I don't feel good about it. A Wasteland. All right, well, I'll rotate that away into something else. I kind of think it should be Yavimaya. I could just get Basic Forest and try to play around future Wastelands. Yavimaya also helps my opponent. All right, I'll take Forest, I guess. Thespian Stage, Rumble, Disruptor Flute, Exploration, another land. Exploration, I win the game on the spot if I find Loam with this Exploration, but other than that, not very good. I guess I'll take the Surveil land, because finding action is what I'm trying to do right now. A Saga. That's pretty nice, actually. I'm going to copy their Saga and then Wasteland them. Okay. Do they have another Wasteland to punish that? Beseju. Okay, my Saga learns to tap for mana right now. Once again, ripping the skateboard. Good stuff all around. Thespian Stage. Do they have Loam? They have Disruptor Flute. All right. I'm going to copy Forest in response. And now Disruptor Flute might name Forest, which is really funny. Named Wasteland. Okay. And now my stage is just that. Like, it's just a forest that taps for colorless or green. Play from the loam. Okay. Well, I can copy their Saga again if they play it. Wasteland, yeah. They just turned that off, so sure. Commercial District. Crop Rotation. That's a Merit Lage. Okay, do I have enough mana to do it all? I think I'm one short. If I play Stage, if I play Skateboard, tap the Wasteland, then Crop Rotation, Forest away. I can then make Merit Lage, but it doesn't have haste. All right, I'm going to pass for a turn. The opponent Dredged Loam, found Saga and Tranquil Thicket. Malevolent Rumble happens. We see Skateboard, Disruptor Flute, and Otawara. Took the Disruptor Flute. That stinks. Oh, but I have 2 Thespian stages, and they have different names. So I'm actually, I think, okay here. And the Skateboard can beat the Mazavith. Okay, end step. Crop Rotate the Grove out of here. Get Dark Depths. Copy. Keep the one with no counters on it. Make this horrible Avatar Skateboard, tap Merit Lage, or tap Mazavith, not Merit Lage. Do not tap Merit Lage. And I don't need haste, so Disruptor Fluting Skateboard doesn't matter. I just need the Mazavith tapped. Okay, drawn Skateboard literally every game. In this game, it was actually good. It was actually good versus the Tameo, too. My opponent just had a blocker. Okay, the Lands Mirror. What a mess. I feel like I can get away with one less Mazavith. I can see all of the Pithing Needles being good, but those are also all the cards that are in my deck. I think I want the ones I have, but don't want to add them additional ones. And Fairy Macabre can clip their Loam. Force of Vigor has a bunch of targets in the matchups as well. My boy Vibrance actually seems like one of the worst cards here. I hate to say it. Our Endurance is probably better than Fairy Macabre, as it also is a reasonable body at doing the same thing. So Tabernacle, not really good in the mirror. That one can go. That's happening. I can see arguments for Fairy Macabre, Force of Vigor, and Disruptor Flute as well, but I don't have 7 more cards I want to cut. Vibrance can represent represent Beseju, which means it kind of does what Force of Vigor does. All right, I'm going to keep it light. Ooh-wee, there's that big boy. I'll keep this hand. This big flying hippo weirdo, who doesn't fly, but does have wings in this art for reasons that are unclear. Okay, I think I want to just put Wasteland into play and pass. Anything else can get Wastelanded, but if they waste this, I waste them, and then we have some sort of weird exchange. Maybe they crop rotation to save it, maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm not in charge of them. Play from the loam with no targets. Okay. This would be a great turn to draw a crop rotation of my own. Thespian Stage. Okay, my opponent has life from the loam, which means their wastelands are going to be better than mine for the entire game. I'm going to Pithing Needle Wasteland and then play Expedition Map. And they can see the straight line to Merit Lage here. And I have a backup answer to Merit Lage in Caracas. It's weird that Magic Online is displaying Loam as a trigger, because that's not what it is. But, okay, Magic Online, go off. They picked up 2 Sagas and a Yevamaya off that Loam. I could copy their Urza Saga here and try to keep up on that game, or I could just try to get Merit Lage into play. I could Vibrance for Ghost Quarter, which does work, but they have Loam going. That's not a long-term solution. If I had a Exploration, I think I'd consider that. Okay, I will pass the turn here. Loam triggers LMAO. That's going to be a joke throughout the entire league. I could already feel it. I think it's just Magic Online has been making efforts to make it more clear what's happening in the game, and that makes sense to me. I think I kind of just want to meet them in the Urza Saga game. I don't think my Merit Lage is going to work, especially when theirs has haste and mine doesn't. And them having a stage, meaning if I put Dark Depths into play, they can also get a Merit Lage. It's one of the fun layers of the Lands Mirror. I'm going to put my Caracas into play. I wish I could crop rotate for that as a surprise, but not available. And the Skateboard just beats it anyway if they have access to Dark Depths. That's so sick. 7 cards in hand, not Dredging Loam. I have a feeling I'm about to lose. Okay, they're making a construct. That's good news. They could get Pithing Needle and name Urza Saga here, which turns off my Saga / Thespian stage, but they also are holding a Saga. That doesn't sound very good. Ghost Quarter, sure. I'll float a green. Get this forest. And while I have mana floating, I'm going to Expedition Map. Now my opponent has Loam, Ghost Quarter going. I might just grab my Bajuka Bog here. There's another Saga in their hand, though. None of my lands are going to work, though, is the problem. All right, I'll get Bog. And then I'll take some beats on the way to stabilizing with Hardcast Vibrance. Oh, Exploration, what's up? Great hit. Never upset to see that one. Okay, pass the turn. They are holding another Saga over there. But Vibrance is big enough to kill a construct right now. It won't be next turn. Yeah, I could fetch instead of giving my opponent a life. I think that actually matters because Merit Lage attacks for 20. Green, green, red, red, also green. Vibrance. Deal 3 to construct and search my deck for... Do I want my Ghost Quarter or my Boseiju? They do similar things. Our Ghost Quarter is better because it gives them fewer options. Yeah, Ghost Quarter's in and pass the turn. I think the correct time to activate this Ghost Quarter is A, when they target Saga with Thespian stage, or B, in their main phase with the trigger on the stack. Okay. So it doesn't know how to make constructs yet, and if they copy it with stage, the stage will take a full turn cycle to tap for 1, and then another full turn cycle to make a construct. Yep, I'm fine with that. I accept. We got a lot of Sagas over there. Ripped my commercial district. Another Vibrance. Red, red, green, green, green. 3 to your construct, search up another land. Do I want Boseiju here? That takes them off of Saga for another whole turn. Yeah, I'll take Boseiju. Play Thespian Stage and Commercial District. Do I need the extra mana? I don't. Wasteland to the graveyard. Okay, they started to tap mana, then untapped it. I wonder if they thought Saga was on a different chapter than it is. A main phase. Boseiju, the Saga that's about to make homies. Leave up the Caracas just in case. Wow, failed to find. Just all of their forests are in their hand right now? Come on. That's all 4 of the natural Sagas plus a copied one. Messed up. Right, you've got a Caracas now as well. In my upkeep, I think I should copy Urza Saga. That gets me the first chapter in my main phase. And I could stop in my draw step to see what I draw. That's a trick that Lands uses that maybe I just messed up on. I mean, yes, I did just deny myself the option of making Merit Lage, or at least putting it into play. Go over the Burn Willows and attack for 8. And Sagas still don't make constructs here. Something like Endurance could chump block. Talon Gates a Madara, sure. Okay. They do not take 4 from one of these Vibrances this turn. Force of Vigor. Alright. Good find. Pitching Force of Vigor. Okay, so my opponent, who knows more about playing lands than I do, has their Force of Vigors in. Noteworthy. Malevolent Rumble. That found a Thespian Stage, which can make another as a Saga. Oh, I'm in the Life from the Loam business right now. If I top deck my Skateboard, I actually have it covered. That can tap the Caracas, then make Merit Lage. Opponent kept Exploration there. All right, can I draw the Skateboard for the 4th or 5th consecutive game? That would actually be great. Exploration. That's not Skateboard. Okay, opponent can make 2 3/3s here, which do actually beat the Vibrances. Do I need my Vibrances to block, or should I push? I should not push. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, none of my lands have additional abilities. I'm just got actual lands while my opponent has a shitload of Sagas. I'm not surprised the person with 6 Urza Sagas beats the person with 0. And then this Thespian Stage is probably going to copy Forest this turn. Okay, didn't do it in the main phase, though. In the main phase, could have also tutored a 1-drop and done the same thing. If 4/4s all around, crop rotating, Urza Saga on the way out. Oh, right, I got my Thespian Stage destroyed. Drawing the Skateboard last turn didn't even matter. I would have shoved this Dark Depths and been like, oh, wait. My Urza Saga that got forced was actually also a Thespian Stage. These Vibrances were really nice to get to this point of the game, but unfortunately, I did not have something like Loam, and my opponent did. All right, this is just basic combat math. Trade a 4/4 for a 5/5. Yep. Mazabeth to save it. Crop rotation. Yeah, I could make Merit Lage here, but it just gets bounced. I don't have a Skateboard to lay it up. What's in my deck? Blast Zone comes in with 1 counter, which doesn't help me versus all these constructs. Spinning a Boseiju into play doesn't help me. Yes, I'm going to pass and save this crop rotation as a potential surprise. This forest does make constructs. Malevolent Rumble. Found Blast Zone and Loam. Alright, I'm good. Yeah, opponent, 2 Loams, 6 Urza Sagas, 2 Malevolent Rumbles. To me, just basically drawing 1 card a turn. That's not going to last very long. Okay. The Force of Vigors, at least some number, making sense, especially with the Urza Saga being such an important part of this mirror match. Is Vibrance actually okay here? It had moments of being cool, but all the moments it was cool, it would have been better as Force of Vigor, which is what I have to actually play towards, not is this cool, but what's the best I can do? Do you cut a depths in the mirror because it's a liability? That makes some sense. Okay. Now my deck looks like this. Oh my god. 0 lands. That's what I get for boarding 3 out and only having, what, 30 something still in there. Only half my deck is lands. Naturally, this is what a hand would look like. Okay, a hand that's actually good. I'm in. Keep, and I think I'm going to bottom Grove of the Burn Willows. My plan is to go Foothills for a forest, discard the Blast Zone, and then Rumble. Is Loam better than Rumble? Loam might be better than Rumble right now. Let's lock in the next 2 land drops, and then I can do Rumbling and stuff next turn. A forest. I'll trigger my Life from the Loam. Apply replacement effects. How do I even do this? Okay. Alright, I understand what you're going for, Magic Online. It's not technically correct in the rules, but I'm not that big of a dweeb to care. Malevolent Rumble. I'll take an Urza Saga, yes please. And let's get that happening. Cycling Tranquil Thicket, that's a pretty shitty way to spend your second turn. Found a Wasteland. I accept. I will pick up a second Loam. That's another green card for Endurance. And then I've got Saga, Ghost Quarter, Boseiju, all good cards in the mirror match come into my hand. Replay the Saga. Another Wasteland. A Rumble. Found Mox Diamond and Urza Saga. Took the Diamond. Your opponent's starting to catch up on resources here. Discarded a Depths. Life from the Loam targeting Saga. I think this is worth an Endurance, even though it's annoying because there's a second Loam right there on the stack. But this, smushing that whole turn of development is a pretty big deal. Do I Dredge Loam this turn? I guess I do. And I can Ghost Quarter their Wasteland To protect my Urza Saga, opponent fails to find. Oh, right, there's a fucking loam in the graveyard. What am I even talking about? I don't know what I'm doing right now. Milled over another loam. I will at least be applying pressure while we play this weak sub-game of whatever the hell this is going on right now. I'm going to take a draw, and I hope it's Exploration. It's Dark Depths. Okay. Play from the loam, targeting Saga, Ghost Quarter, Yavimaya. Is it time to cash out the spawn? I think it is. If I can play Urza Saga here and the Seiju, the Diamond. So they failed to find a basic. They might have a non-basic land type thing, but I'm feeling aggro. Yeah, okay. Failed to find one forest in their list. Now, even if they can cast Loam, they can't get a land drop afterwards. Mazavith, all right. I've got Ghost Quarter for that, which I know is Strip Mine. Ghost Quarter. Actually, I want to take out the forest. All right, they're just conceding to that. Nice. All right, we got them in the lock. When we had games 2 and 3 showcase what happens when one player has stuff happening and the other is just drawing and playing cards from their hand. On to the next round.
The NYSE Open is returning on June 6, 2026 to Long Island, New York. This proxy-friendly vintage tournament has the guaranteed prize pool of 8 pieces of Power 9 to be drafted by the top 8 based on final standings. Any additional profits made from the event will be added to the prize pool as on-site vendor credit. This tournament has been great the last 2 years. How often do you get to act sad about winning just a time walk? You know I'll be there. See you at the NYSE Open on June 6 on Long Island, New York. Use my link in the video description or find the New York Stacks Exchange on melee.gg.
I'm on the play in round 3. I'm going to keep... I don't have acceleration, but I do have several engines. Opponent's on a mult of 5. I'm just going to hold up crop rotation in case I need my Ajuka Bog here. And I don't have another play anyway. It's not like there's a different one drop I could play. But I'm thinking about Bajuka Bog. Hey. Okay, let's hope this 5-card hand doesn't beat main deck Graveyard Hate. I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate my life. Okay, I could crop rotate for Wasteland and try to make it so they can't actually play the game. That would be hard for me to play the game too, and it's just a matter of time. Vibrance will be too slow to get Wasteland on the fair and square. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to rotate for Wasteland and hope that they can't play any more cards. Forest, crop rotation. I'll get Wasteland. And I don't have to use it right away. When I took my Rumble, that makes sense. I'll draw for turn, see what we're cooking with. Ooh, Life from the Loam. Well, I will offer the meager resistance I have to offer. Hope there's no initial mana sources in the opponent's hand. Shit. Okay, it came in tapped. There's a potential for a Wasteland lock here, but it's going to take me another turn to develop it. They pass the turn, don't kill me, die to Wasteland. Oh no. No! No! They suddenly learned to count to 4. I mean, clearly the hand didn't do this, or they would have done it last turn. And they had a 5th mana, so it must have been Dark Ritual drawn this turn. Alright. I guess I'll look at the deck begrudgingly. The Oops All Spells mull to 5, and I have made a Graveyard Hate, and I Wasteland them, and it doesn't matter. Good stuff. Alright, we've got Pax, we've got 4 Narc Amoebas. I see Thassa's Oracle. I see Dread Return. Okay. The Endurance comes in, Fairy Macabre, Disruptor Flute, Grafdigger's Cage. Things that don't matter are Mazavith, Tabernacle. Lands that don't tap for mana are coming out. At least 1 Depths. Vibrance probably doesn't matter here. Do I cut another Dark Depths and just figure that winning is secondary to not losing? That makes some sense. On the play, alright, turn 1 Grafdigger's Cage is going to have to be good enough. I also have the crop rotation, but no green mana to do it. This will not stop a Goblin Charbelcher. It will beat any number of discarding counterspells, though. Boggart Bog. Thoughtseize. I'm probably losing crop rotation here. Rotation is gone, and another loam. I'll just be beating up my opponent's mana until I find a green source to do something else. The thing about Goblin Charbelcher is it costs 7, 4 to get it in, 3 to activate it, and I haven't seen a Lion's Eye Diamond juke in Oops All Spells in a long time, and the triple Wasteland might actually keep Belcher at bay, even if they do have it. Tapped Fellmire, that we both know is about to be destroyed because they've seen my 3 Wastelands. Yo, that's one of the best draws I could have. That lets me Wasteland and do the other thing. Get back 3 Wastelands, and now an engine is online. Hey, they have missed a land drop, or just didn't have one, or they're saving it for a turn where it's more important. Hit Bajuka Bog. Do I want Bajuka Bog in play? And I'm casting Loam anyway. I guess I'll play out the Bajuka Bog as just a shitty land to get it out of the way. And they can't reanimate their Bogger Trawler anyway because I have Grafdigger's Cage. I don't know if they're going to use a small amount of graveyard for anything. A Bog's back. Loam found Urza's Saga. I'll deal with that later. It's probably better to leave up Bajuka Bog, though my opponent knows my hand. Doesn't matter. But if you can represent a colored mana versus a non-colored mana, it's probably just better to do that. Good habit. Okay, they went to clean up, lost a Thoughtseize. Loam flipped a Fairy Macabre. Doesn't help me in the graveyard, but noted that there it is. And now I am starting to find a way to win the game. Chrome Mox, alright. Mana Source I can't destroy. Agadeem zapped it in. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. That's 6. Am I getting fully belched? Beseech the Mirror. Okay. Cool shit. Okay, does your hand make 1 more mana? It does. Alright, well, that'll do. Oops All Spells, ladies and gentlemen. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 4. My hand's pretty good. I'm going to keep it. A Volcanic Island. Ooh, Exploration. What's up? And just got really exciting. A Wood of Foothills. Mox Diamond. Discard Maze of Ith. Play Exploration. Play Thespian Stage. And loam back my lands. Pretty good turn 1. I hope I don't just die to Show and Tell. Flusterstorm. Alright, well, this does look like it's Show and Tell if Flusterstorm is a card in your deck. Alright, that slows me down a little bit. But the difference between that loam hitting a Wasteland or not is big. City of Traders, let's go. I'm dead. Stock up. Deal. Deal, deal, deal. It's definitely Show and Tell, though. Loam hitting Wasteland here is kind of everything. Mill 3. I hit Caracas. I don't hate that one. Caracas, Foothills, Maze. Or do I want to Ghost Quarter first? Or I have frickin' Vibrance. Hold on, I could just get Wasteland. Okay, I think what I want to do here is Loam first. I used a Force of Will on this, pitching Daze. Ghost Quarter. Take out the City of Traders. I'm sure they have basics, but just having less mana matters to me. Basic Island has appeared. Ponder, good sign. Shuffle, good sign. Ancient Tomb, bad sign. Oh my god. Please cast Stock Up. Okay, we did it. Survived another turn. Alright, Life from the Loam. Do the work. Mill 3 cards, hit a Wasteland. Wasteland, Ghost Quarter, and Caracas to my hand. Right, do they have another Force? Please don't. Oy, oy, oy. Force pitching Atraxa. This is actually a pretty cool game because normally if a blue opponent counters your Life from the Loam 3 times, they're just slowly losing. But this is a deck that can actually kill you from 2 or 3 cards in their hand. And it's exciting counterplay, even if I'm disappointed because it doesn't look good for me. Thundering Falls. Dump to Ponder. Brainstorm. Okay. This sequencing tells me that they have everything they need except show and tell, and they're looking for it. I was like, how do you see the most cards this turn? And there it is. I guess I'll put Vibrance into play. Is that actually better, though, than having access to Vibrance? My hand, what does that even do? No, I'm just going to put it into play. Behold, my 4/4. Oh, this doesn't even beat the face-up Caracas. So, with one card in hand, what's their plan here? All right, mill 3, get this back. Target Caracas, Wasteland, and do I want Ghost Quarter? There's a Dark Depths now. I could actually try to win-win. Okay. I'll target these things. Caracas, come in. Wasteland, take out one of the red sources. All right, cool. Nice. Very cool game, actually. Stressful game. Could have gone the other way pretty easily, but pretty cool. All the Red Blasts and Disruptor Flutes are coming in. Pithing Needle. That could name Sneak Attack, I guess, but it seems low impact. The Tabernacle at Pendril Vale and Bajuka Bog are not going to help me here. Mazavith actually does work against Atraxa, so it's worth having in. Vibrance actually seems terrible, at least over the spells that I would play in its place. Though Vibrance is access to more Caracases. Is there something that's worse than that still in the deck? I don't think so. In Force of Vigor could take out Blood Moon, which is a juke that they have. Vibrance does take out Magus of the Moon, which they also might have. I think they're more likely to have Blood than Magus these days. I do have Besageuse in my deck. Diamonds, Basic Forest. Alright, I'm going to try it without Blood Moon Hate. This hand is really good in normal matchups. I'm going to try it. I like the Wasteland. My opponent's already on 6. If I can screw them out of playing the game at all, that's appealing to me. I have access to my Basic Forest. Okay, am I just getting turn 1? Might be getting turn 2'd insulated from Wasteland. I'm going to play out the Wasteland because that makes it so they can't get the Thundering Falls. And playing Wooded Foothills instead wouldn't stop a turn 2 send anyway. This at least gives me some way to push back. Basic Mountain. That's a weird thing to fetch. Okay, I didn't get Shown, Told, or Blood Mooned. I'm going to get Basic Forest and cast Malevolent Rumble here. Caracas, that is probably the best hit I could find off of that. Now if they show and tell, I can put in Caracas. Disruptor Flute, okay. Yep, that one's good. How did they know I had that? Oh, they're on a weird reactive hand here. I feel like I should be dead by now, but I'm just not, and I like that for me. I'm going to send another Rumble, because finding one of the 4 flutes in my deck would give me a lot of comfort. Okay, there's another weird reactive card. I suppose I'll just play Urza's Saga then. Magus of the Moon. Alright, well, I boarded out my Vibrances. Can I literally win anymore? Is it possible? Yeah, Punishing Fire here in the sideboard. Vibrance in the sideboard. I literally have no win conditions remaining. There's no way to remove this Magus. There's no way to apply pressure through it. Okay, I'll bring my Vibrances back in. That was embarrassing. Okay, Vibrance back. And Skateboard bad? Do I need that in this matchup? I mean, being able to win all at once is pretty serious. They're a much better combo deck than me. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I just bet against Magus the Moon and on Blood Moon, and I was just wrong. Okay, what does this one do? It's not very good against Blood Moon, but it does ramp out the goods. This league, if nothing else, has been a fun showcase of knowing how to play a deck versus not knowing how to play a deck, and how important sideboarding is, and knowing what the plans are, and specifically what opposing sideboards are likely to contain against you. All of this stuff matters. Turn 1 Brainstorm. That's weird. Okay, that's even weirder. They must have kept a 1-lander and then just freaked out and cast Brainstorm and lost. Cool, I'll take it. On to the next round.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Receivables has it at youtube.com/thereceivables.
I'm on the draw in the final round, positive record on the line, and my hand's okay. Tabernacle is hit or miss. I've boarded it out in about half the matches this league. But if we're in one where it's good, boy, is it good. And if we're in one where it's bad, I'll just discard it to Mox Diamond. Well, we're in one where it's good. I could actually end the entire career right now. Okay, I'm going to Wasteland to get around Days. Mox Diamond, discard Caracas, which probably doesn't matter in this matchup. Cast Exploration. If this resolves, it's over. Okay. Had the Force of Will pitching Days, so did successfully play around Days. This will keep Dragon's Rage Channel around for at least one turn. I don't get the full turn 1 Plague Wind while also ramping 3 times. A real shame. Channeler getting in. Oh, missed the land drop. Turns out, it just didn't matter. Tabernacle. Plague Wind. The opponent does not have a land in hand and now also doesn't have a threat in play. Speaking of Tabernicles, a little while back, I made a joke about calling one of my friends a barn, which apparently has left the Magic lexicon, and that's probably for the best because it is a toxic nickname. Barn is short for barnacle, and that's what pro Magic players used to call people who would just sort of hang around and try to be their friends, even though they didn't really know them or like them. Ponder, here we go. Shuffled the library. I'm just looking for something that does anything. That qualifies. Let's go. And this is kind of awkward because I'd love to use Pithing Needle to protect that Urza Saga from my opponent's wastelands, but if my opponent's wastelanding me, then they're going down lands, which is my job in the matchup. No, I'm not even that worried about it. Channeler and Storm Chaser's Talent. This is going to be a lot of Tabernacle tax to pay for next turn. Life from the Loam. That's way better than what I was going to do. All right, Loam target Wasteland. I'm not in a hurry to crank out constructs here because it just doesn't matter. I'm going to have to pay for them with Tabernacle anyway. They'll go away very slowly. And if I can get my opponent to 0 resources, like use this saga to get another Mox Diamond that converts the Caracas back into functional mana. Now I'm ahead on the Loam again. Otter dies to Tabernacle in the upkeep. Mishra's Bauble. My opponent will get at least 3 damage in on me here. You draw for your Bauble. I trigger my Loam. Float a mana. Loam missed on lands, but I'm going to have plenty of lands in there anyway, thanks to the sequence I'm executing here. Loam target Saga, Caracas, Wasteland. And do I want to develop the Saga or just get Maze of Ith out here? I think it's the Saga. I can afford to take 3. That's not hurting my feelings. Funny story about this opponent. This is a member of my Patreon community who normally plays lands, and I was worried when I saw the username, but it's actually his husband playing on his account. So I dodged the mirror. I'll mill with Loam. That uncovered a Thespian stage. Let's get Maze of Ith out here. Stop the bleeding. There's only 1 diamond left in my deck because I just milled 1. If I find the Ghost Quarter, it's over, which I can do with crop rotation. Basically, it will. But I don't have to, so I'm going to be chill. I can also play this Blast Zone at any time and remove all of these permanents from play. It's game 1. I don't have to worry about getting Price of Progressed. Okay. Uncle. To the sideboard we go. Endurance is good here. Vibrance actually great here. Kills most of the threats of their deck. Punishing Fire is interesting. It's in the sideboard for reasons that confuse me. I suspect it's probably like we're putting red mana in the deck. Why not play Punishing Fire? But also the reason not to play Punishing Fire is it barely lines up with anything in Legacy anymore. But if there's a matchup for it, I guess we're in it. So maybe like Death and Taxes would be a better argument. Okay, I don't think I need Disruptor Flute here. Wasteland is the thing I would name, and that thing I can just outmuscle. Caracas doesn't matter. I do actually like Tabernacle and Maze of Ith and Bajuka Bog, though. My normal go-to grabs from the sideboard aren't quite as free. I can also see arguments for some number of Pyroblast, and I might not need Skateboard here. This might be overboarding, but there's a bunch of tools here in the sideboard I haven't used in the entire league, and I would like to play around with them in my last opportunity to do so. Tabernacle's back. Double Wasteland Tabernacle, I'm in. Basic Island, down and dirty. Storm Chaser's Talent. Interesting. All right, I think what I want to lead on here is Boseiju, because that plays around Wasteland the best, because I could crop rotate something if they try to waste it. As much as I'd love to just rip off Tabernacle here, if my opponent pays for the outer Wastelands me, then I'm not really doing anything. And if I wait one turn, maybe they'll commit another creature and make Tabernacle even better for me, and I'm ready to rotate it away if they waste it. We got the Boomerang Basics picking up the talent. Okay, are we all in on Basic Island over there? Looks like it. All right. Well, Tabernacle time. Opponent's hand is all spells right now, and one of them is Storm Chaser's Talent. Might have sandbagged a Wasteland. I guess that's possible. I don't think it's right, but if opponent like had a Wasteland and didn't want to play their Wasteland out into me wasting them ahead of time, like I could see saving it for tactical reasons being a thought process someone has. I don't agree with it, but okay. So did we just draw that, or did you have it all along? All right, rotate and Force of Will pitching Murktide. All right. That ended up being a 3 for 2. Ooh, okay. Grove of the Burn Willows? Ever heard of it? An elegant weapon from a more civilized age. Okay, Otter's gone. Opponent still has Storm Chaser's Talent in hand, plus 5 mystery cards, of which we're pretty sure if any of them are lands, they were just drawn. Brainstorm. You're looking for those lands. Ooh, okay. A Wasteland target. I was going to bog them this turn, but Wasteland, similar energy. I'm a little worried about just like untapped land Murktide Regent right now. I'm not well set up for that. Okay, the Talent's back. I have Grove that can deal with that. Oh no, a Wasteland. All right, I'll buy back the Punishing Fire at least. There's other red sources in my deck. Gotta have faith. Crop rotation. Okay, I'm gonna bog here. Get ahead of that Murktide Regent. The theoretical Murktide Regent. And crop rotation insulates me from the next Wasteland. There's only 2 left in the deck. Used 2 of them already. Soul Guide Lantern, pretty decent. I'm not doing anything in the graveyard currently, but that card is theoretically effective against me. It does make some of my better draws less good. I'd still be happy to see a Loam, though, because the Soul Guide Lantern puts my opponent in the position of bomb in response to Loam. Then I have Loam forever, but I don't get the lands immediately. Or let Loam resolve, and then I get the immediate draw 2 or 3, but then they can bomb the Loam out. All right, Urza Saga. Let's put something in front of this Otter. The 3rd Wasteland. Let's go. Crop rotate that away. We have another force. No. All right. Do I want to just make Merit Lage here? Vespied Stage is in my hand. I could just get like Grove of the Burn Willows and go Ultra Control here. My opponent's deck has Boomerang Basics in it. That doesn't matter. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get Dark Depths and try to win. Boomerang Basics is a sorcery. 1 Wasteland left in the deck. I'm choosing to hope it's not there. Vespied Stage, pass. As long as I don't make Merit Lage where they can interact at sorcery speed, I like my spot. Show me that 4th Wasteland. We got the GGs. A nice little layup phenomenal matchup in the final round. I'll take it. Okay, here we go. Positive record with Vibrance lands. As far as Vibrance itself, it felt fine, but not great. And that's the fate of a lot of new cards that look like they go into existing archetypes. It's like, yeah, I drew this a bunch of times. It was fine a lot of those times, but it's not about just the card in a vacuum. It's about the card in context and opportunity cost. Is Vibrance good enough to play in lands is only half the question. The other half is what are we cutting to make room for it? And what are we doing to stretch for it? Like these go over the Burn Willows, the Taiga. These expose me further to cards that are good against non-basic lands, where I could just have 2 or 3 basic forests if I wasn't doing all that. And ironically, we did queue into exactly the intended function of this, which is Magus of the Moon, and I had boarded it out in that one spot. But it did tutor some lands, it did kill some creatures, I cast it for 5, a lot more than I cast it for 2. All of that was pretty cool. Skateboard actually felt great. It created opportunities to win. I don't know that I actually converted on very many of them, but it did create opportunities to, like, if I draw Dark Depths here, I can win even through that Caracas. That sort of thing. This felt much better than Lava Spur Boots. And outside of the new cards, Lands is just a really cool, powerful deck, and I barely knew what I was doing. Sideboarded wrong basically every round and still came out away with a positive record. If you're doing the work and actually know what you're doing, you could definitely get rewarded for this one. King of the Depths, Tarmogarf, thanks for sharing this. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.